And obviously, it's a little bit different for you than for Wes, because obviously Wes has games as a head coach behind him, and you've got games as a head coach maybe ahead of you in your future if that's what you want to do. I mean, do you take it as an opportunity? Do you embrace it like that, or do you maybe approach it as block that out and just try to focus? How do you just kind of approach this opportunity?
Well, I mean, a couple of years ago, I was the head coach of the sixth grade, boys basketball team. So I feel like that was getting me really prepared for this moment right now. But no, I mean, honestly, it's there's really not a lot that changes because coach gives us so much of a voice in practice and in games that really the only difference is you'll be standing up and calling the plays. So we really approach things with a team mentality in the staff. So I'm going to rely on my coaches, the other assistant coaches and Coach Burgomaster and Coach Pruitt and Coach Borders and Marquise and KT, as much as BP relies on us. So it'll really be a team effort going into the game.
Nathan King with the next question.
Hey, Stephen, we talked to Wes a little bit about it after the game, but just from your perspective and whether you were with the coaches or the players, just kind of can you describe what Friday was like and y'all getting that decision from the NCAA and just kind of what was your reaction to it when it happened?
Yeah, it was, right away, it was, one of those things where as a staff, we knew we had to step up and, have BP's back. But, kind of like I said before, we're prepared because we have so much of a say in what we do. When our coaches have a scout, coach really lets them dive into that scout and kind of own that scout, and it allows us to be prepared for situations like this. If BP were to get thrown out of the game, say for instance, and Wes would be jumping in as the head coach anyway, so you guys got to be ready for something like that anyway. Obviously, this was a different circumstance, but we put so much preparation into these games that it really wasn't that big of a deal for us, because while we're missing our leader, BP and everything that he brings to the table, our assistant coaches do a really good job of getting prepared themselves to prepare the team to get ready to go out and play. And then I think our guys having such great relationships with our coaching staff and with coach, it made them want to step up even more. One, for Wes, because it was, his head coaching debut at Auburn, and Auburn being so special to Wes, it was a really important game for him personally. But then two, their head coaches at home watching, so they want to make sure that they play hard for him at the same time. So we took it in stride, and there was really, it really didn't feel like it was out of the ordinary for us, because we're prepared and we were ready to go, and the kids accepted the challenge and did a great job.
All right, 2 more questions left. Justin Hokanson.
Hey, Stephen. Just talk about Jabari since that UConn loss. He kind of, I think he made some comments, on social media saying, "Hey, that's on me," type of stuff. And since then, he's been fantastic. Have you seen anything different from him? Is it just a matter of getting the rhythm, or has he made a conscious effort after that loss to up his game up a notch the last 5 games or so?
I mean, I think he was really damn good before the UConn and during the UConn game. He missed 1 rebound and he took that hard on himself. And, if you look at that game, like the 5 rebounds before that were all man rebounds that, he did an amazing job with. He missed 1 against a really physical, really good UConn team. So I wouldn't say he's really upped his performance. I think he's been really consistent throughout the year. The most impressive thing with Jabari, I think, is just his efficiency. He takes tough shots, he makes tough shots, but he picks his spots really well throughout the game. And he impacts the game in so many different ways. Defensively, when he really wants to sit down and lock up, he does a great job. He's so long that he can get really good deflections and make plays for us on the defensive end. Makes great decisions in the half court with his passing. One of the things that we'd like for Jabari to do a little bit more is when he catches the ball on that low block, just go into the defense instead of fading away. Now, he's got a great fadeaway jump shot, but if you face up, no one can stop him one-on-one. So we want Jabari to be more aggressive like he was against Central Florida and Yale, taking the ball to the rim and finishing through contact, because he's able to do that as opposed to fading away on it. So, like you said, he's been playing amazingly over the last 5 games, and hope to continue that same play from him moving forward.
All right, and last question from New Bias Wilburn.
First of all, thanks for the time, Stephen. Will you do anything different in your preparation for the game, considering that you'll be the head coach? Will you take a different path, getting there, just all with anything changing from how you would normally handle your duties? And then what does the toy drive mean to the program, being in fourth year and everything? Thank you for all that.
No, thanks for that question. As far as preparation goes, the only thing that you really got to add to what you do is what you're going to say to the team in pregame. What your pregame speech is going to be. So I'm sitting there last night at midnight just thinking about what my messaging is going to be. And I thought Coach Flanagan did an amazing job in the Nebraska game, kind of summoning it like this. Just it was a 2-game season at this point, without BP. And we got to win 2 games. And what do we have to do to win those 2 games? And I thought that was really, really well done. And I thought the guys really bought into it. So I think as far as preparation goes, we got to be ready for really good, really feisty North Alabama team. They're number 1 in the country in non-steal turnover percentage. So for all you analytics nerds, basically what that means is they do an unbelievable job of taking charges. They do an unbelievable job with their ball pressure of making you turn the ball over and throw the ball out of bounds. So they're number 1 in the country there. So they're really going to try and dig up into our guys. So how do we adjust to that? How do we get off the ball? How do we turn corners? And obviously understand that guys are rotating to take charges, playing off 2 feet, hitting the open guy. They're number 16 in the country in 2-point field goal percentage because they foul a lot. And it makes it really hard for you to get to the rim and finish through contact. They play 11 guys double-digit minutes, who average between 4 and 11 points. So there's a lot of guys in personnel that our guys have got to recognize and know who's going to be out there. In wins, they average 12.5 threes made per game, shooting over 40% from 3 in their wins. So we got to guard the 3-point line and funnel them down to our shot blockers and make plays. So just, having those little tidbits for the guys to know and to lock in on. So as far as preparation goes, I think the biggest thing is, what are some of the things that you're going to concentrate on in timeouts? What are some of the things that you're going to adjust, that you need to adjust on if they start to make plays against us, offensively or whatever they're doing defensively that could bother us. I got to talk to the guys on the staff offensively. What are some of the adjustments that we're going to make in some of the things that we do, offensively? So that's the biggest thing. I think for me, it's, I got to be myself, and I thought Wes told the guys, like, I'm not Bruce Pearl, I'm Wes Flanagan, and this is how I'm going to operate. While I'm his son, I still got to be who I am and be me and not change that. But also recognize that, what we do is BP system, and that's what we're going to stick to. Right. And then as far as the toy drive goes, I mean, that's, it's really important because, right now there's people across this country who aren't as fortunate as us and aren't as fortunate as some of our children to be able to, open their gifts on Christmas morning. And for our fans to be able to contribute to something like that and put a smile on a kid's face, there's nothing that you can really, compare that to. And I think, we really need all of our fans to participate. And I think in the years past, we've done a really good job of that. We need to fill those bins up and bring as many toys as possible. All donations will benefit Toys for Tots, and that's an incredible, organization and an incredible purpose that they serve. So really encourage our fans to come out and show out on Tuesday night and bring a ton of toys.
All right, thank you, Coach, and thank you, everyone, for your coverage this season. Remember, tomorrow night it's at 8 p.m. tip. See you all then.